This conference will now be recorded.
Today, our concept is validation rules. Okay, validation rules. We are working with the lead object. Okay, we are working with the lead object. Lead is a standard object. Lead is a standard object, and we are working with the lead object. My requirement is suppose user is trying to creating a new lead record. Suppose user is trying to creating a new lead record. User is trying to creating a new lead record. While creating a new lead record, suppose he will not provide any information on the title. Suppose he will not provide any information on the title. Then it should display an error message. My requirement is user is trying to creating a lead record. While creating a lead record, suppose he will not provide any information on the title. Means title he will keep as a blank. Okay, he will not provide any information. Then we have to display an error message saying that title is a mandatory field or title is a required field. Please enter title. Please enter title. This is my requirement. Okay, user is trying to creating a record. While okay, while creating a record, if title is blank, okay, title is blank, then display display error message. This is my requirement. So here we have to make title field as the mandatory field. Okay, we have to make title field as the mandatory field here. How many ways we will make a field as a mandatory? How many ways we will make a field as mandatory? Okay, while creating a field, right? While creating a field, we will check this option for title field. Okay, so now I am on this page. I want to navigate to the lead object. Go to setup, click on the setup, edit object, then go to the fields and relationship sections, and here you have to search, go to the quick find, and here you have to search it as a title. Then click on the title. See, click on this particular edit button. See, there is no option here to make this field as the required field. There is no option to make this field as a required field. Why? Because of this is a standard field. Which is provided by the Salesforce. For example, here you have to observe title is a standard field. Which is provided by the Salesforce. In this row here you have to observe there is no option here, but for this field option is there. For this field there is an option like a drop down list option is there, but for title there is no option. Okay, title is a standard field, so we have no option to make this field as a required field. So this solution is not possible. Okay, now coming into here at the page layout level. We will make a field as a mandatory, right? At the page layout level we will make a field as a mandatory, right? For example, now I am trying to creating a new record. While creating a new record, see how many record types are there here. How many record types? N number of record types are there, right? N number of record types are there. Okay, if n number of record type means n number of page layouts are there. So we have to go to each and every page layout, and we have to make that field as a mandatory field. We have to go to each and every page layout, and we have to make that field as a mandatory field. But this is also not the best solution. Why means n number of page layouts are there. Go to here, page layouts. See, four page layouts are there. We have to go to each and every page layout, and we have to make that field as a mandatory field. How to make a field as a mandatory field? Go to any page layout. So where is the title field? See, title, you have to search for the title. Yes, title field is there. Click on this one. Required option is there, right? check this one, required option is there. Okay, so we are making this field as a mandatory field or required field at the page layout level. But here the page layout level is the not the best option, not the best option. Why it is not the best option? In the sense means n number of page layouts are there, n number of page layouts are there. Now the third one is the only one option. The third option is by using validation rule. By using validation rule. So how to write a validation rule? How to write a validation rule is nothing but in the same here in the object level only. Scroll down here. Below we have triggers are there. Below that we have validation rules are there. Below here validation rules are there. We are writing a validation rule in the lead object level. Okay, our requirement is in the lead object, so we are writing our validation rule in the lead object. Okay, why we are going with the validation rule? Why we are going with the validation rule? We are restricting the user. Suppose user is trying to creating a new lead record. While creating a new lead record, suppose user he will not entered any information on the title, then we are trying to displaying an error message. So we are restricting the user. We are restricting the user. So already some validation rules are there. I am trying to removing this one. No need to remove. Okay, here these validation rules are related to our topic only. That's why I deleted this validation rule. So go to here, click on this validation rule, then it will redirecting into this particular screen. It will redirecting into this particular screen. Click on this new button. Click on this new button. We are writing validation rule in the lead object level. Here rule name is nothing but any name. While creating a workflow or approval process, we are providing rule name anything, right? Anything. Here also anything, but some meaningful name. Title required. Title required. And you have to make this active checkbox as a true. Then only this validation rule it will fire. And the next one is description in the sense means why we are trying to creating this validation rule. Why we are trying to creating, we have to provide some information here. It is not mandatory. It is not mandatory, but we have to provide based on which requirement we are trying to creating this validation rule. Now scroll down here. We have another box here, error condition formula, under section error condition formula. Here you have to observe insert field is there, insert field is there, insert operator is there, insert operator is there. Here we will write actual our condition. Here we will write our actual condition. Insert field. Click on the insert field. Then one pop-up. Here it will come one pop-up. Here two boxes are there. In one box here you have to observe lead means lead object. You have to click on this one. It will show all the lead fields. It will show all the fields. What is our field title, right? Select this one. So once again, so the error condition formula below here we are writing our actual condition. Our actual condition here we are writing. Here insert field is there. Click on this insert field. We will get one pop-up. Here two boxes are there. One in the left hand side, see here lead. You have to click on the lead. It will open all the lead fields. Now here you have to observe. Here you have to observe dollar is there, right? What do you mean by dollar? Some of the some option there is a dollar is there. What is this dollar means? I will explain. Just observe this one. Here lead is there, and below we have dollar symbol is there. It will start from the dollar symbol. What is this dollar symbol means? I will explain. Our requirement is title field only, right? Where is the title field? In the lead object title field is there, right? Click on the lead. In the second drop down we will get the title field, right? Go to here, titles here, select this one, title. Yes, title field is there. Otherwise we will directly go and write your title field here, title API. Whenever we are writing a programming, we have to use API of that particular field. But a title is a standard field. That's why there is no underscore c. There is no underscore c. Okay, here we have to write a title field here. Now here coming into insert operator is there. All addition, subtract, all operators are there here. If you want, you will just go and use it here. Less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, and symbol. See, this is and operator. Okay, this is and operator. This is or operator. This is 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay. This means 1 or 2, either 1 or 2, either 1 or 2. This is 1 and 2 means it should be 1 and 2. It should be 1 and 2. Here either 1 or 2. This is R symbol and this is un symbol. Just remember this one. Now coming into here, in the right hand side, functions are there. Functions are there in the right hand side. Here we have lot of functions are there. Here we have lot of functions are there. Whenever you will click on this function, see here below it will open some information. This is a function, this is a syntax, and this is the purpose of this particular function. Here we have a lot of functions are there, but we will discuss whatever the functions we are using regularly. We will discuss those functions. Here what is my requirement? What is my requirement? If title is blank, right? Title is blank. Now go to here you have to search any function is there. You have to go and search like blank. See here, is blank is there, right? Is blank is one function is there, right? Select this function and put your cursor in this text area box. You have to put your cursor here and insert selected function. Insert selected function is blank. So first we are using one function. My function is nothing but is blank function. Here what is this expression is nothing but this field API. Which field we are trying to checking? We are trying to checking title field, right? What is the title field API? That field API here we have to use it. Field API. Okay, our requirement is if title is blank, then we have to display an error message. How we are going to check whether title is blank or not means Salesforce is providing some functions. Where we will get those function is nothing but here those functions are available. Here those functions are available. How exactly we know the is blank function is there and this is blank function is suitable for our requirement is that is based on our practice only. So we will discuss maximum functions we will discuss. Here I am using is blank function. Here I am using is blank function. Select this function and go to here in this text area. You have to put your cursor wherever you want this function and insert selected function. Then automatically it will come. Expression means which field you are trying to checking. My field name is nothing but the title field. Title field. You have to add API of that particular field. You have to add API of that particular field. Okay. Now this is the condition. This is the condition. If title is blank, then what we have to do? What we have to do? Here you have to observe we have one more section that is nothing but error message is there, right? We have to display an error message. What is the error message? Please enter title. Please enter title. So where we want to display that error message? On the top of the page we want to display error message, or at the field level we want to display an error message. So field level means which field level we want to display an error message is nothing but title field, right? Title field. But first we will go with the top of the page. First we will go with the top of the page, then we will discuss. Okay. So we are trying to creating one validation rule. Why we are trying to creating validation rule is nothing but user is trying to creating a lead record. While creating a lead record, if title is equals to blank, then we have to display an error message. That is my requirement. So before going into validation rule, we have to check these two options, whether it is a standard field or custom field. Standard field means this option is not possible. Now coming into here at the page layout level, yes, we can do at the page layout level, but n number of page layouts are there and we have to go to each and every page layout. We have to do changes, but this is not the best option. Then third one is by using validation rule. By using validation rule, how to write a validation rule, and first of all where we have to write a validation rule. Our requirement is in the lead object. Go to the lead object. In the bottom of this page we have validation rule. Click on this validation rule, then it will redirecting into this particular screen. So while creating a validation rule, what is your rule name? What is your rule name? You will just go and write your rule name here. I mean rule name, there is no logic. There is no logic. Then coming into your error condition formula. What is your condition? Actual condition. Title is blank, right? That is our condition. That condition only we have to check it, right? That condition here we have to write. While writing a condition, which functions are suitable? We have a lot of functions are there. Which functions are suitable for our requirement? We have to go and verify it. So how we know which function is suitable is nothing but that is based on practice purpose, and we will discuss maximum functions we will discuss here. Okay, now yes, this condition is satisfied. Then what we have to do? What we have to do? We have to display an error message. Then what is your error message? Please enter title. where we want to display that error message, on the top of the page or at the field level. So top of the page, I'm just selected top of the page. Finally try to save this one. Finally try to save this one. Now I will just go on to test this requirement. How to test this requirement? Go to lead object, click on this click on this new button, select any one of the record type, click on this next button, click on this next button. This title is, see, I'm trying to enter all the mandatory details here, and click on the save button. Click on the save button. See, please enter title. We are getting an error message, right? Please enter title. Where we are getting? At the field level we are getting, or at the page level we are getting? Here we are getting at the page level. This is called the page level. Top of the page we will call it as, okay. In the classic version, on the top here it will display, okay. But here it will display here. Please enter title. So suppose we want to display the error message at the field level. Yes, you have to go to that error message. We have to select the field, which field level we want to display. We have to select. Here we are trying to displaying the error message at the top of the page. Top of the page. Now coming into here, I am taking one existing record. Taking, so here you have to observe. I mean, we will create a new record, we will update a record, we will delete a record, right? Validation rules are only for creation and updation only, not for deletion. Not for deletion. Now I am trying to creating a new record. You click on this next button. So enter all the mandatory details, enter all the mandatory details, and click on the save button. Yes, my validation rule is firing. We are trying to restricting the user to save this record. I will not allow you to save the record because of you have to enter title field. I will not allow you to save the record because of you have to enter the title. Okay, you have to enter the title while creating a new record. Now coming into this is for existing record. Go to your existing record. Click on this detail. Click on this detail. Title is there, right? Suppose I am just removing this title. Click on the save button. See, again it is displaying an error message, right? Again it is displaying an error message, right? So here what is the logic? Validation rules are applicable by default. Validation rules are applicable while creating a record or updating a record. In both cases, validation rules is nothing but validating the data. Validating the data. Okay, validating the data. Data is there or not. Validating the data. Okay, data is there or not. If data is there, then it is in correct format or not. That is nothing but validating the data. So validation rules are applicable for creating a record, updating a record, not for deletion. Not for deletion. Okay, not for deletion. By default by default so by default, it is applicable for creating a record and updating a record. It is applicable. It is applicable for creating a record and updating a record. Updating a record. Suppose we will create one validation rule that is by default applicable while creating a new record, or if any existing records are there. If any existing records are there, see, these are the old records. Okay, these are the old records. That's why we will call the terminology like existing records. Like existing records, validation rules are applicable for newly created record or existing records. Existing record means already records are created. Those records are also, it is applicable, means creating a record or updating a record, not for deletion. Not for deletion. You have to observe what is the difference between workflows and validation rules. Workflows and validation rule. Validation rule is nothing but we are, while creating a record or updating a record, we are trying to checking data is there or not. If data is there or it is in correct format, then we are allowing the record to save. We are allowing the record to save. Once record has been saved, then workflow rules it will fire. So before saving a record, we are trying to checking something. If it is not there, then we are not allowing us to save the record. We are not allowing the user to save the record. That is nothing but validation rule. So suppose we will get one requirement, we will not get confused. We have to go to the validation rule or we have to go to the workflows. Validation rules is nothing but we are not allowing the user to save the record. Workflows is nothing but once record has been saved, then it will fire. Then it will fire. So any questions up to know? Any questions? Any questions? Okay. So don't get confused. Suppose we will get a requirement, which one we have to go? We have to go with the validation rule, or we have to go with the workflow rule. Validation rules is nothing but to restrict the user. We are going to restrict the user, boss. You are trying to creating a record, or you are trying to updating a record. Before doing your changes, this data we should need. If it is there, then it should be in correct format. We are checking the data. We are checking the data. Once record is saved, once record is saved, then workflow rules process builders it will file. Okay, now again coming into the lead object, my second requirement is I am trying to creating a new lead record. I am trying to creating a new lead record. While creating a new lead record means validation rules are applicable for both cases. Creating a record or updating a record. Creating a record or updating record. I am trying to creating a new lead record. While creating a new lead record, if lead source is web, lead source is web, lead source is web, and and website is blank, and website is blank, then we have to display an error message. This is my requirement. This is my requirement. My requirement is, again I am working with the lead object. Again we are working with the lead object. Okay, while creating a record or updating a record, updating a record, if lead status, if lead status, lead source, if lead source is web, if lead source is web, and 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 website is blank, website is blank, then display error message, display error message. This is my requirement. I am trying to creating a lead record, or we are trying to updating a lead record. Already some records are there, already some records are there. If lead source is web, here you have to observe lead source is which field? It is a pick list field, right? It is a pick list field. If lead source is web, at that time, suppose user he will select lead source as a web, and at that time, if website is blank, website he will not enter any data, website he will not enter any data, and click on the save button, then we have to display an error message. Error message in the sense means we have to restrict the user. I will not allow you to save the record. I will not allow you to save the record. Okay, I will not allow you to save the record. That is nothing but validation rule. This is my requirement. This requirement, how we are going to achieve? Is it possible by using, I mean while creating a field? No, this option is not possible. Payload is also not possible. These solutions are not suitable for this requirement, because of here we are trying to checking two fields. Here we are trying to checking two fields. So the only option is by using validation rule, by using validation rule. Here what is our condition here? What is our condition here? lead source, lead source is web, right? Lead source is web, and and website is blank, website is, website is blank. Then what we have to do? Display error message, display error message. This is my requirement. This is my requirement. Lead source is web and website is blank, website is blank, then we have to display an error message. So how we are going to achieve this requirement is nothing but we will just go and write validation rule only. Okay, go to setup, click on this particular edit object, click on this particular edit object. Okay, now go to validation rules, go to validation rule. Already one validation rule is there, now we are writing one more validation rule. Click on this new button, click on this new button. What is your rule name? Rule name is anything, lead source, lead source underscore web, any name, it doesn't matter. Description also, why we are writing this validation rule, based on which requirement we are writing this validation rule, that here we have to mention. Now scroll down here, error condition formula, here we have to write our condition, here we have to write our condition. So here you have to observe lead source is a pick list field, right? Go to here, lead source is a pick list field, lead source is a pick list field. For pick list field, see here, lead source is a pick list field, pick list field. For pick list field we have separate syntax. For pick list field, we have separate syntax. Go to here. Separate function is there. Separate function is there. See, functions in the left hand side, in the right hand side, we have functions are there. Is pick value. Click on this one. Click on this one, and go to this text area, and you have to put your cursor here. And now insert selected function. See, this is the syntax for the pick list field. How we know for pick list field there is a syntax means we'll discuss. Okay, whatever we are regularly using, whatever we are using the functions regularly, we will discuss. So here pick list field is there, right? For pick list we have a syntax here. This is a syntax for the pick list field. Is pick value. Here we have to write pick list field. Here we have to write pick list field, API of the pick list field, API of the pick list field, API of the pick list field. Okay, now coming into here, text literal. What is this text literal? Is nothing but here we have to write value. Which value? This is a pick list field, right? This is a pick list field. This is the value. This is the value. Value is nothing but web, right? Here we have to write value of that, value of the pick list field, pick list value. Okay, we have to write here pick list value, pick list value. So finally is pick value, is pick value, open bracket, close one. Inside this one, what is your pick list field? My pick list field is nothing but lead source, right? Go to your fields and relationships, you have to search it. What is the API for the lead source here? Lead source, this is a label name, and here we are writing in the back end, right? We should use API name. API name is lead source only. Why it is a lead source? There is no underscore underscore c, means this is a standard field. Now here you have to use lead source. So is pick value is for pick list field. Lead source is a which field? Lead source field, right? Lead source field, comma. Then what is our pick list value? Our pick list value is nothing but web. Okay, our pick list value is nothing but web. Okay, here we have to write in double quotes or single quote. We have to write a double quote or single quote as our wish. Okay, here I'm just going to write double quotes. So what is this sentence meaning? What is this sentence mean? Lead source is a pick list field. In that pick list field you selected web as a pick list value, web as a pick list value. Then what is our next condition? Website is a blank, right? Website is a blank. Already we discussed one function. That function is nothing but is blank, right? Is blank, open bracket, close one. What is website? What is the API for the website? Go to here, you have to search it. Website. See, website API is nothing but website only. You have to go to here and you have to add it here. So lead source is equals to web and website is blank. Both conditions are satisfied. Both conditions are satisfied. Then only both conditions are satisfied. User is trying to creating a lead record or updating a lead record. That time if lead source is equals to web. Okay, if lead source is equals to web and website is equals to blank, both cases are possible. Both cases are possible. So here we have to add and. How we will add and this is operator, and this is operator. We have to write our validation rule like this, or we have one function is there. Go to here, we have one function. Go to here, validation rules, click on this new validation rule, click on this new validation rule. Go to here, we have and is one function is there. See, and is one function is there. Select this one and insert selected function. Here you have to observe and operator is there. This is called and operator. This is called and operator. This is and function. See here, logical 1 comma logical 2 comma, like this we will just go and write any number of conditions here. See, and means logical 1 comma logical 2. What exactly this meaning is nothing but and open bracket, close bracket. And what is our condition? The first condition is if lead source is equals to web. Yes, this is first condition. First condition. Then what is my second condition? Comma. What is my second condition? This is my second condition. That time website is equals to blank. Website is equals to blank. Then we have to display an error message. We have to use this and operator or we have to use and function. We have to use and operator or we have to use and function as our wish. Generally we will just go and use functions only. Generally we will just go and use functions only. And means both. And means both. See, user is trying to creating a lead record or updating a lead record. That time, if lead source is a pick list field, in that pick list field, web is there plus website is equals to blank. That time only, whenever lead source is equal to web, that time only website is equals to blank. Then we have to display an error message. That's why here we are using this is called and function, and this is called and operator. When we will use and operator, when we will use and function, means generally we will use and function. Generally we will use and function whenever we want, which is comfort, we will just go and use it. Okay, there is no logic here. Now I am using and function here. And function. Okay, go to here and. So otherwise directly I will just go and write it here. So first I will just go and select and function, put your cursor here, select this one, and logical one, logical two. What is our logical one? What is our condition? First condition, pick list value, right? What is our pick list value? We should use this syntax. If we will not use, then system it will not accept. So here pick value select, see, pick value select. What is your pick list field? Lead source. And the next one is text literal is there, right? What is your value? Pick list value web. And what is next condition? Next condition is nothing but is blank. Is blank. What is blank? Website. Website is blank. So lead source is equals to web plus website is equals to blank. Both conditions are satisfied. Both conditions are satisfied. I will just go and put like lead source web. Lead source is equals to web, and this is my condition where we want to display an error message. Top of the page we want to display an error message or field. Now I am selecting at the field level. So while writing a validation rule, which one we will select in the real time is they will give that information. Suppose they will not give any information, we have to go and select. By default one is top of the page, right? Top of the page only. Otherwise they will give that information. Field, which field? Website field, right? Website field. See, I'm trying to selecting website field. Now the error message it will display at the website field level. Please enter website when lead source is web. Try to save this one. Okay, try to save this one. Try to save this one. Now we will just go on to test it. Now we will just go on to test it. How we will test? Go to here. We have to take two records. One is new record and another one is existing record. Two cases we have to verify. We have to verify two cases. We have to verify two cases. Click on this new button, select any one of record type, click on next button and enter this detail, this one, and see lead source is equals to web, lead source is equals to web. Then click on the save button. Click on the save button. Here you have to observe, please enter title, right? Please enter title and please review the following fields. Website field we have to review. Here you have to observe website field, please enter website when lead source is equal to web, when lead source is web. Here title is equals to blank and lead source is equals to web. Both conditions are there, two validation rules are there. So that's why system is firing two validation rules. System is firing two validation rules. Suppose I am trying to creating a new validation, new lead record. Go to here, click on next button. I will not entered any field here. Click on the save button. Then what it will happen? System first check the standard fields. If standard fields, required fields, okay, if data is there or not. See here, I am trying to creating a new lead record. I am trying to creating a new lead record. While creating a new lead record, you will not enter any details and click on the save button, but our custom validations are not firing. Our validation rules are not firing. We wrote those validation rules, right? That's why we will call it as a custom validation rule. Custom validation rule. First system what it is doing, it is verifying the standard fields only. It is verifying the standard fields only. See, last name is the standard field, right? Company is the standard field, right? First system is verifying the standard validation. If standard validations is fine, then only click on the save button. Then only it is checking the custom validations here. Then only it is checking the custom validation. Custom validation means we wrote while creating a record or updating a record. First system it will verify standard validation. Standard validation is nothing but system validation. Different terminologies. Standard validations or system validation, that is nothing but standard field, that is a required field. For those fields, data is there or not. If data is there, then only it will come to the custom validations. Custom validations means we wrote, right? Then it will check the custom validation. See, lead source is equals to web. Lead source is equals to web. Okay. Lead source is equals to web, and website is equals to blank. Click on the save button. See, please enter website when lead source is equals to web. This is for new record. I will just go to the existing record. Old record I will go to. Remember the terminal. This is called existing record. Now scroll down here. So lead source here, it is a nothing. Go to here. I am trying to selecting it as a web and click on the save button. See, for existing record also here it is firing rate. Where is the website field? Website field is, where is the website? Website field is not there. See here, please enter website. Website field is not available in the layout. Sorry, website field is there, but here it is not shown. Please enter website. Okay, but it should show here. Try to save. I mean, click on the save button. Generally it should show at the field level, right? So for existing, go to here. Lead source is equals to web. See, lead source is equals to web. I'm not giving any information. Try to save this one. Okay, now yeah, here it is showing. Please enter website when lead source is equals to web. So validation rules are for creating a record or updating a record, both cases, not for deletion. By default, validation rule, it is applicable for both cases, new record, old record. Any questions on this one? Here we learn two functions. Is pick value is one function we learned, and is one function, and is blank. Total three functions we discussed up to now. And this is and operator. So we will use either and operator or and function. Okay. This is R operator. This is R operator. Okay. This is R operator, and this is and operator. Okay. This is and function. Each condition should separated by comma, and this is R function. This is R function. Okay. And any questions? Any questions or any confusion? Okay.
Ramesh, can you go to this page? Like
Yeah.
when you are making this, create a new leads.
Newly. Okay. New. Click on this new button.
Yeah. See, this last name we are making this as a mandatory field.
That is a standard field. Okay.
Yeah. So even title also, if you make it as a mandatory field, then I think uh,
There is no
functionality validation.
yes, you are please.
See, the meaning is one and same, right? Even if you make a standard field or if you make a like customized field, validation you are writing, right? So it makes sense one and same. Unless or until you enter the title name, it should not go to the next page, right? The same thing is happening with the last name. Unless until you write the last name, so it won't trigger to the next page. So what makes the difference actually? We can make it as a mandatory field, right? Instead of writing the validation.
Title field. Okay. We will write a mandatory field. Yeah, that is fine. Title is a standard field. Okay. There is no option to make a title field as a mandatory field. That is the first one.
Okay.
So how many ways we will make a field as a mandatory field? While creating a field, right? While
Mhm.
creating a field. Title who created, this is a standard field. So we are not able to change. If it is a custom field, then I will just go and make it as a mandatory field.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. That is
And one
any
more thing,
question.
when you are creating this title, so I want to restrict my title name with specific characters, like specific numeric or alphabetic, but not with the special characters. Is there anything like we can restrict that?
Yeah, we have regular expressions.
Okay.
Formulas, regular expression, REXP, we will call it as a regular expression. By using that, we have to restrict. Like a phone number is there, right? Suppose
Yeah.
I will enter alphabetic or something, then we have to restrict it. We have regular one function. Like we have to restrict.
Yeah. Sure.
And any other questions? Now my requirement is, here you have to observe, I am trying to creating a new lead record. I am trying to creating a new lead record. While creating a new lead record, for example, test lead is one custom field. Test lead is one custom field. I want to make this field as a mandatory field. I want to make this field as a required field. Okay. Test lead is one custom field. Okay. Go and create one. Forget about this field. I am trying to creating one field. Okay. Go to lead object. Go to lead object. I am trying to creating one field. Go to here, fields and relationship sections. Click on this new button. Any data type we will just go and select. Text data type we are selecting. Click on next. I'm just making it as a test country. Okay. Country info. This is my field. I am trying to creating a field. While creating a field, we will make this field as a required. See here. Yes, that is an option, because of we are creating field and we will make this field as a required. Then it is available for all page layout. Okay, it is available for all page layout. Let's see here. Click on next button. Click on next. Finally, try to save this one. So we created one custom field. While creating this field, we will make this field as a mandatory field. Now go to here. I am trying to creating a new lead record. Click on this new lead button. Test lead. Okay, we have to refresh. Here and click on this new button. Select next one. Now go to here. See, test country info. Yes, this is a required field, because of this is a custom field. So while creating a field, we will make this field as a mandatory field. Okay, fine. But my requirement is test country info field is mandatory only for L1 record type. This is my requirement. We created one custom field. My custom field is nothing but test country info. So we have to make this field as a mandatory field. Okay, we have to make this field as a mandatory field. Then how many ways we will make that field as a mandatory field? How many ways we will make that field as a mandatory field? While creating a field, right? Yes, we can do that. And the next one is while at the page layout level, right? Yes, we can do that. But my requirement is this field is mandatory only for L1 record type. This field is mandatory only for L1 record type. That is my requirement. Test country is one custom field. Okay. The third one is test country is a custom field. This field is mandatory for L1 record type only. L1 record type only. This is my requirement. L1 record type. This is my requirement. Is it possible while creating a field? Suppose I will create a field, I will make one field as a required field, then it is mandatory to all page layouts. It is mandatory to all page layouts. Okay, it is mandatory to all page layouts. So that is not the option. The second one is, yes, by using page layout we will make it. But here also one problem is there. What is record type concept? Okay, L1 record type is there, right? For L1 record type, one page layout they are using, that is nothing but L1 page layout. L2 record type is there. L3 record type is there. L4 record type is there. L2 record type they are using L2 page layout. L3 record type they are using L3 page layout. For L4 record type again they are using L1 page layout. My requirement is for L1 record type only we have to make this field as a mandatory. I'm trying to creating a new lead record. While creating a new lead record, L1 we have one record type. For that record type only test country info field we have to make it as a mandatory. What are the options are there? First one is while creating a field. Yes, that is option, but it should be mandatory for all record types. This is not the solution for me. Then the second option is, yes, L1 record type, right? For L1 page layout you have to go to this particular L1 page layout and you have to make a field as a required. Yes, this is the solution. Assume that this L1 page layout they are using for this L4 record type also. Assume that for this L1 page layout they are using L4 record type also. There is no restriction. This page layout only for this record type we are using, so I will not use this page layout to another record type. It is not like that. You have to observe, L1 page layout I will use for any record type. There is no restriction. We are using this page layout for this L1 record type, so no, don't use this page layout for L4 record type. It is not like that. There is no option. There is no restriction. We can use one page layout to any record types. We can use one page layout to any record types. So here my requirement is, suppose we will go to L1 page layout level, and we will make that field as a required field, then it is applicable for L4 record type. So this is also not the solution. Then what is the solution? The solution is by using validation rule only. Any questions on this one? Any confusion? If title is required, directly title is required means yes, go to field level, you have to try, but that is a standard field. The second option is go to page layout and you have to do. The next option is validation rule. But here my requirement is only for particular record type, we have to make it as a required. So what is the solution here? By using validation rule. How to write a validation rule? Go to here, setup, edit object, edit object, go to validation rules. Here, validation rules, click on this new rule. Okay, recorder type, L1 recorder type, L1, any name here, it doesn't matter. L1 recorder type, L1 recorder type, test country field, test country field. Just go and provide some information here. Now coming into here, what is our requirement? Our requirement is test country info, right? Go to here, lead test country info, right? Or test country info. Select this one. See here, underscore c, right? Is blank, right? Is blank, is blank. Test country info is blank. Okay, then what is my next step? For which record type? Go to here, insert field, in the lead object only. Scroll down here, scroll down, record type, right? RC record types. There is record, lead record types here. Lead record type, not record type. Lead record type. Select record type. Record type name. Select record type dot name. Record type dot name. Record type dot name is equals to L1. So both conditions are satisfied, right? So L1 record type plus, for that record type it is blank. For that record type test content info is blank, right? We'll just go and make it as a and here. So for record type, L1 record type, test country info field is equals to blank, then we are trying to displaying an error message. Before that, what we have to do? Go to the test country info field, we have to remove at the field level. Okay, go to here, test country, right? See, test country info. While creating a field, we made this field as a mandatory, right? Click on this edit option. Required. We have to remove this one. We will make a required means it should be available for all page layouts and everything, all record types. My requirement is only for L1 record type. So test country info is blank plus which record type? Record type dot name is equals to L1. How we got this record type dot name is nothing but go to here, insert field, go to here, lead record type. If record types are enabled automatically, this lead object record type name, select this name, record type name, select this one. Okay, record type dot name, So one second. Go to here, yes, record types are there. Go to here, L1, right? Click on this L1 record type. L1 record type name, here we are trying to using. Okay, any questions on this one? Any questions? On this one?
Now, what is this check syntax at the bottom?
Yeah, check syntax. For example, I am trying to miss one comma or see bracket, I am trying to missing. Okay, enter country, see here, click on the save button. Syntax is wrong right here. I missed one comma, I missed, and one bracket I missed. So syntax error, it will check the syntaxes. Whether you missed anything or not, it will check. Click on the check syntax, it will check syntax error missing. See, this one is missing. Again click on check syntax. Here again syntax error missing. Here we missed comma, but here it is not showing comma. Okay, here it is not showing comma, but here it is saying bracket only. Okay, uh, it will check syntaxes. Okay, go to here. Here you have to observe no errors found. Whatever we added, brackets or commas, syntaxes, everything is in proper format or not, it will check here. Any questions on this one? Any questions? Just remember, I mean, don't get confused. Suppose we will get a requirement while creating a record or updating a record or updating a record, creating a record or updating a record. Okay, I want to restrict something, I want to check something, then we have to go under the validation rule. Once the record is saved, once record is saved, then we have to go with the workflows. We have to go with the workflows. Okay, now coming into one more requirement here in the same lead object, my requirement is here. So by default validation rules are, validation rules are applicable for creating a record and updating a record, not for deletion. Updating a record, creating a record or updating a record. Suppose I am trying to deleting a record, that time I want to check, means we have to go with the trigger programming only. We have to go with the trigger programming only. By default validation rules are applicable for creating a record or updating a record. What does that mean? Suppose we wrote one validation rule, that validation rule it will fire whenever we are creating a record or updating a record. Both cases it will fire. But my requirement is, my validation rule should fire only for creating a record, only for creating a record. Creating a record, my validation rule should fire. Only for updating a record, updating a record, this is also the case. Sometimes my client will ask, I am trying to creating a record, that time only my validation should fire. I am trying to updating a record, that time only my validation should fire. Validation rule functionality is, by default functionality is creating a record or updating a record. In both cases it will fire, both cases it will fire. But my requirement is, your validation rule should fire only for creating a record, your validation rule should fire only for updating a record. So how, where we will verify is nothing but we have functions are there. Again go to here, click on this new button, click on this new button. Now go to here, in the functions, go to functions, go to here. Is new is one function is there. See here, is new is one function. Checks if the record is a new and return true. If it is not new, it will return false. We have one function. That function is new function. Use new function. It will check. Suppose I am trying to creating a record. While creating a record, my validation rule it will fire, right? In that validation rule, suppose we will use this function, means what does that mean? This validation rule it will fire only for creating a new record. Creating a new record. Suppose we are trying to updating a record. We have one more function is there. Not is there. See here, go to here, not is one function. Not is there. Not below, inside not we will write. See, not is new. Not is new means what? Old only. This is for existing record. This is for existing record. My validation rule should fire only for newly creating a record. My validation rule should fire only for updating a record. That is my requirement. Just now we wrote one validation, right? Two validation rules we wrote, right? For example, go to here, lead source is equals to web. My client said was, this validation rule is applicable only for creating a new record. Forget about the old record. Forget about the old record. Click on this edit button. Click on this edit button. Then where we write this condition? This is one condition. Lead source is equals to web plus website is equals to blank, comma, is new. Is new means you are trying to creating a new record. That time only I will fire. whenever you are trying to creating a new record, that time only I will fire. For example, we will just go and test it here. Finally try to save this one. Finally try to save this one. I am trying to creating a new lead record. Go to here, select any one of the record type. So click on the save button. First the system it will check. First system it will check standard validation. Standard validations it will check. Go to here, test. So refresh this one. Because of refresh this one, we remove this field, right? Test country info. Go to here. Second. Click on this new button. Select L1. Just observe. Still it is not refreshed. Still it is not refreshed. So now coming into here, my validation rule. My validation rule. It will fire here. Lead source is equals to web, right? And website, I'm not giving anything, right? Click on the save button. See, please enter website when lead source is equal to web. It is firing, right? For example, I will take any existing record. Go to any existing record. Select detail button, detail tab. Now lead source is equal to web. Click on this lead source. I'm not writing anything on the website. See, lead source is equal to web. I'm not writing anything on the website. Finally, try to save this one. See, it is not displaying any error message. Why it is not displaying any error message? My validation rule, we restricted only for creating a new record. How we restricted? We added one function. That function is nothing but is new, not bracket open bracket close. Inside this one we are using is new is nothing but this is for old record only. This is for old record. So up to now how many functions we discussed? Is blank, right? Open bracket, open close. Here expression. Okay, expression is nothing but which field we are trying to checking. Expression is nothing but here field API. Expression is nothing but field API. Okay, field API. Second, expression is nothing but field API. This is the first function which we discuss. Okay, that is nothing but is blank. Then the next one is which one we discuss? Is pick value. Is pick value. This is for pick list field. What is your pick list field? What is your pick list field? API, pick list field API, and here we have to write expression. Here we have to write expression here. So this is nothing but the first one is pick list field API, and the next one is expression. That is nothing but for pick list field only. The third function what we discussed, and function we discussed. Open bracket, close one. Inside this one, we will just go and write any number of condition. Condition 1, comma, condition 2, condition 2. Like this we will just go and write any number of conditions here. Condition 3. Like and function we have and operator is there, right? And operator. Fourth one is and operator. And operator means like the same thing we will write like this. Condition 1 and operator, condition 2 and operator, condition 3. Okay, condition 3. Like this we will just go and write. Which one we will use, when we will use and function, when we will use and operator, means that is based on our comfort. Generally we will use and functions only. Then the next one is coming into here. We have the next one is new, right? Is new. This is checking. This is a checking. New record or not? New record or not? Then the next one is we have one more function that is nothing but not. Then the next one is old record. Not is new. Not is new means this is old record. This is for old record. So first of all, validation rule is nothing but we are checking whether data is there or not. If data is not there, then we have to display an error message. If data is there, means that is in correct format, or if not correct format, then we are not allowing the user to save the record. Whenever we will get a requirement, we have to first understand for this requirement which concept is suitable. Validation rule is suitable or workflow rule is suitable. Workflow rule is it will not restrict. We are not checking anything. We are not restricting the user to save the record. Once record is saved, then only our actions are firing. But validation rules are we are restricting the user to save the record. So and one more thing, validation rules are available only for creating and updating, not for deletion. By default, any validation rule is for creating a record or updating a record. In the next session, we will discuss some other functions. Next session, we will discuss some other function. This is for today's session.
This conference will now be recorded.
In one of my, I am working with one application. In that application, instead of opportunity is a standard object, right? Instead of
Yeah.
opportunity, what they will call it as it's a blood drive opportunity. They will call blood drive
Okay.
opportunity. Means they are renaming the tabs. This is a tab. They are trying to rename. How to renaming the standard objects? Go to setup. Standard fields also we will rename. Okay, go to here. Rename. See here. Rename tabs and labels. Okay.
Okay.
What
Okay.
I'm trying to say, in some projects, accounts is a standard object, right? Lead is a standard object, right? Opportunity is a standard, contact is a standard object. We can't do any changes on that particular object names and all those. Some project,
Yeah.
what they will rename. They will rename account. Instead of account, they will call it as a company. Instead of opportunity, they will call some other. Where they will rename is nothing but go to here, rename tabs and labels. Click on rename tabs and labels. See, click on rename tabs and labels. So now scroll and which object you want to rename. For example, opportunity is there, right? See, opportunity is there, right? Opportunity is a standard object. Click on this edit button. So you want to rename, this is a standard object. You want standard object to tab name. You want to rename, you will just going to provide any name here. Okay, Mahesh? This is for
Okay. Okay, Ramesh.
object,
Thank you. For
for
fields.
tabs. Click on next. Then here it will show the fields also. Once
Okay.
you select,
Okay.
once you selected opportunity, see here, this is opportunity you selected, right? Once again, go to renames and tabs. Which one you want to work? Opportunities, right? Go to here, opportunity, click on this particular edit button. Here you will just go and rename the opportunity tab. You have to rename. Now you are asking fields also. Click on next. See, it will show all the fields. Which field you want to rename? You will just go and rename here. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Ramesh. Thank you.
This is also useful. Sometimes in some application they will rename the fields. Okay, they will rename the fields and they will rename the standard object names. Instead of account, they will use it as a company. Lead, they will use it some other name. Opportunity, they will use it some other name, because of it's a they are renamed the tab name, they renamed. Okay, thank you.